Good evening, brothers and sisters. I hope and pray that you all are doing well. I've got to tell you that I miss you all very much. We haven't been able to meet together for a pretty good while now, and hopefully we won't be much longer, and we'll get through this difficult time. I wanted to just take a few moments and share some thoughts with you this week. Been given some consideration to where we're at and how things are going right now. You know, one of the most familiar portions of Scripture is what we refer to as the Golden Rule, and we all can we quote it this way: "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." That's not exactly as it appears in Scripture, but it does convey, I think, the message that Jesus gave to us in His Sermon on the Mount in Matthew chapter 7, and it's recorded again in Luke chapter 6. And what a wonderful world it would be if we all just kind of live by that standard: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And of course we know that everybody doesn't do that. Growing up at home, my dad had a pretty simple rule around the house. He said, you live in my home and you do what I say. And growing up as a young man, I didn't always appreciate that rule. But I realized as I've grown older that that rule was for my own good. And I'm thankful for that now. You know, it occurred to me while I was thinking about where we're at, sitting at home, not being able to get out and go as we would like to, and at the present time not being able to meet for worship service. We don't much like the rules that we're trying to live by right at this present time. You know, there's lots of evidence in the world around us that people don't really like rules so much, and I guess where that's really most noticeable is driving down the highway. It seems like everybody nearly is speeding because they don't like the speed limit, they don't like the rule. And then there are other people who are driving much slower than what the speed limit calls for, and according to the comedian George Carlin, people who drive faster than we do are idiots, and people who drive slower than we do are jerks. And it wouldn't be funny if those weren't really truthful thoughts, but that's just kind of the way it is. We don't like the rules too much, but we know that the speed limits are for our benefit as well as other rules also. The Golden Rule, especially, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, is really a good rule. Now, Paul writes to us in Romans chapter 13, verse 1, let everyone be subject to the higher powers. And the word powers there really means authority, and we're all subject to authorities of every kind. The Lord tells us in His words in Matthew 22 and verse 21 that we should render unto Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. And of course we have rules to follow in this world, and we have rules to follow in the spiritual realm as well. And you know, our primary responsibility, according to Solomon, is to love God and to keep His commandments, fear God and keep His commandments. That's the whole duty or the whole responsibility of man. The rule right now for us is to stay home and stay safe. And while I like to get out and go, as I'm sure you do, we like to go shopping, we like to go out to eat, we like to meet and congregate with our friends and enjoy all of those things as part of life. And right now we're just kind of have to, or needing to refrain from doing those things, which is for our own good as well. And while we may not like the rules so much, in the end, when we're all through this trial that we're facing, and we're all healthy and having a good time, we'll look back on these sacrifices and with thankfulness, being grateful that we are alive and well and doing well. So I want to encourage you while you're sitting at home. It'll just be a little while, and we'll get through this, and we can thank the Lord for His blessings on us. So stay home, stay safe, and stay healthy, and God bless you all. Thank you.